Hi, my name is Jared Rogers, and I'm the president and CEO of Wilson Rogers and Company. Right now it's December, and that means we're just ahead of the tax season that's about to open up. So I figured in my downtime, I would use this opportunity to make this brief video and tell you a little bit more about our company, who I am, and why I got into the business, as well as what motivates us in interacting with our clients. Wilson Rogers and Company was established back in 2005, and we offer services in three primary areas. The first is income tax preparation for individuals and small businesses, with specialty being given to those who are in the real estate sector, those who are multi-member partnerships, LLCs, those who have formed S corps, and any small business that's essentially below $10 million in revenue. We also offer business ancillary services, and that's essentially your bookkeeping, your payroll, business incorporations, anything that's needed to keep a business functioning and in compliance. And then the last area that we work in is tax controversy, or what is known as tax representation. So if you have a balance with either the IRS or a state tax authority and you can't full pay it, then we would help work with the tax authorities on your behalf to come up with a resolution so that you can remain in compliance. So exactly how did I get into this business? So I began my career way back, many moons ago, working for one of the big four public accounting firms. And I did not start on the tax side. I started on the assurance side, or the audit side. And the way that it typically works, if you can ask any of your accountant friends, is around tax time, people would always come to me and say, "Hey, Jared, you're an accountant, right? I've got a tax question for you." And then inevitably, I would do some research and I would help give them an answer. But after an amount of time, I realized that this was an area that I could actually help serve. I had also worked previously for the IRS's VITA program, that's VITA, the Voluntary Income Tax Assistance Program. And that is helping low-income individuals who may not be able to pay for tax preparation to still be able to obtain services. And in working with a lot of those clients, I just realized that there was a need to help provide tax services in a competent manner for individuals who were really looking for them. So if you fast forward, in 2012, I quote-unquote retired from corporate America after approximately 13 years in various finance functions, and full-time assumed the role of heading up Wilson Rogers and Company's operations. So we have an office that's located on the southwest side of the city of Chicago, 2055 West 95th Street. And we've just gotten finished with our 5th year with that office, and we're now moving into our 6th year, getting ready for the 6th tax season. So that's a little bit about how I got into the business and began working on it. And some will ask, well, what do you like about the business? Like, what motivates you? What gets you up every day? If you were in corporate America for 13 years, why did you decide to leave to go out and prepare taxes? And what I always tell people is that in the role that I have, on a daily basis, I get to impact people in a very real and meaningful way. The dollars that we save people impact their household, and they impact their bottom line. I've worked for companies, that ranged anywhere from, a couple $100 million up to, $40 billion in revenue. And when you deal with those type of numbers, sometimes, things don't seem real. When a check gets cut for, $100 million, somebody is the recipient of it. However, it just doesn't, they just seem like numbers. But in working with individual clients and business owners, if I can help a business owner save $7,000 in taxes through a tax strategy, it's just a very rewarding feeling. Outside of that, people will say, okay, so I get that you're a real individual, and I also understand that you like to help people. What do you like to do in your spare time? Well, hey, just like anybody else, I lead a very busy life, but when I'm not working, I like to, ride my bike, train. I race bikes, on the amateur level. I like to, stay active, whether that be, swimming or working out in the weight room. which I will probably need to be doing a lot more of as we get to tax season and eating way too many donuts. But what I like to stay active, and then of course I like interacting with my family. You know, this is a side note, but people will often ask, you know, well, it's Wilson Rogers. Who's Wilson? The company was founded by myself, Jared Rogers, and my wife, Ironita Wilson. However, we weren't married at the time. So the name of the company is her maiden name and my last name, so it's Wilson Rogers. So with that being said, when I'm not working, I like to hang out with Miss Former Wilson, as well as my daughter. You know, so that's a little bit about me. That's a little bit about our firm, and how can we help you? If you have any questions, if you need help with your business, if you have a tax matter that you just don't want to tackle on your own, or if you're growing your company and you just simply want to evaluate whether it's the right time for you to get payroll services or potentially convert your company from its current structure to another structure, we'd be more than happy to talk with you and evaluate your situation. We can be reached by giving us a phone call on our office number, that's 773-239-8850. Or you could look us up on the web. That's www.wilsonrogers, that's ROGERS, no D, .net. So wilsonrogers.net. And like I said, you can reach out to us in any way, and we'd be more than happy to help you. Well, as we get ready for the tax season, enjoy your time off. Enjoy your time with friends and family. And hey, here's to a healthy, bountiful, and prosperous new year. Thanks.